Ready, folks?
Is there a topic in particular you guys wanted to talk about? I heard you guys talking about like Smash
Hold on
and
a second. Yep, I am officially ready. Let me mute. All right. Yep.
I mean, we were talking about Persona. We could talk about the topic that Atlas made, that they're going to bring up a possible new Persona game. They're announced this September since its 25th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one second.
Talk about this September and the Nintendo Direct revolving around what there could possibly be the 35th Zelda anniversary.
We could also talk about the possible last remaining character to be revealed, if it might be revealed on the latest Nintendo Direct.
It's 95% it's gonna happen because it's supposed to be released by the end of the year, so they got to review it. So
No problem. All right, give me a sec. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? Your main man Zen, aka Zenmus, and welcome to Hakai Talk. Today we got a slew of different topics to talk about, but in today's episode, I want to go ahead and introduce today's guest. We're gonna start off with WolfCry. How you doing? You got anything you want to say to the lovely people that are part of the Hakai Nation?
What's going on, everybody? My name is WolfCry. Very nice to be here today. Hope I get to learn more about you guys, and you'll get to learn more about me as well.
Nice. Short, sweet. Thank you. And then we also have it's Calvinator Noctis, but I like to call him Cal. But you guys give a warm welcome to him as well. But Cal, you got anything you want to say to the people who aren't familiar with you?
What is cracking, folks? My name is Calvinator Noct, aka Noct. I am very excited to talk with you guys today, and hopefully meet you guys in the near future.
Thank you. All right, so for today, we're gonna go ahead and start off with the topic that you guys were talking about just a second ago. I am not that familiar with it because I've never played Persona 5. But what is it, or at least what were you guys talking about? At least give the people an idea what you were talking about with regards to Persona.
Oh gosh. So I'm pretty sure WolfCry is like this too. I actually have never heard of Persona series before until Joker got announced for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as the first DLC character. And I started to play it because I heard a lot of good things from it, and I got it for free as part of the PlayStation Plus month game. I think it was November, and then I just got really addicted to the game. To be honest, and it's just really interesting what you gotta do, because the game is all about time management, how you manage your time, how you bond with people, and how do you, and I guess you could say how those bonds and how you spend your time affects you how you perform in combat significantly.
Yeah, like I jumped into the game as well, but it took. I heard about it as well, like Nox said, but it took watching him streaming a couple times to be like, you know what? Let's try it out. And ironically, Persona 5 Royal was on sale that month because Not had previously told me that it was on sale on PlayStation Network, so I wanted to try and see if I could catch the sale before it disappeared. And Royal Edition was on sale for about $20, so I'm like, you know what? Sure, it has DLC and stuff on it. Because I was under the assumption, hey, it might have a season pass, so this might be the season pass version of it. So let's just go ahead and do that. And the game is honestly really, really far more interesting than I thought. Like, it goes from real life situations to a role playing RPG to like every decision you make in this game affects everything that happens next. Like it's really completely up to you how you spend your time in the game, and everything is crucial from point A to point B.
Oh yeah. By the way, if you're actually interested and you have PlayStation Plus, the game is on sale on the PlayStation Network for today until August 14th. Well, at least the Persona 5 Royal, the deluxe edition. If you guys want to check it out.
No problem. No problem at all. Make sure you guys check that out. Check that out. PlayStation Plus always has some good deals, a lot of good free games, and just games that are on sale. I no longer play on PlayStation, at least not as much, because I play on my PC. But that's good to know.
PC Master Race.
Yeah, I've fallen prey to it. I for the longest time I didn't want to play PC because I was like, it's too expensive, But I did start working, got a better job. I was like, you know what? Let me dip my toes into it, and I have never looked back. So unfortunately, not even unfortunately, but I like PlayStation games. Sony has gone through a whole multitude of changes in terms of their developers. A lot of their developers, even over in the Activision Blizzard area, which not even allegations. All that stuff happening with Activision Blizzard, all the stuff that's happening with Sony. Riot had their. It's an industry-wide thing in terms of the harassment and ththings of that nature. I didn't want to really talk on that. I'm not going to talk on it or touch on it too much, but a lot of those developers have gone to go and make their own, what is it called? Snow Moon. Snow Moon is a new development company made by, I think, a couple of, or a good bit of developers. A lot of them, like lead developers or lead software designers and things of that nature. All of them are making I can't remember, more of a narrative driven. They're going to be focused on narrative driven AAA type games, and they're 100% funded, or at least they $100 plus million in funding for their company. So look forward to Snow Moon to see what games they might come out with in the future. Their developers are majority of their developers. One of their biggest games that they're known for is their work on the Uncharted series, and Uncharted is definitely one of my favorite narrative-driven games. I love it. I looking forward to the movie that comes out, starring I think it was Matt Damon and Tom Holland, which I think that's gonna be pretty fun and awesome.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Uncharted also has some members from I believe most of them knows from Naughty Dog, which are also people that made the games like Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, which things like that. So they're pretty precise. They're pretty precise with their. They're pretty precise with their
just a
with
side
their products.
With the Ratchet and Clank game, I didn't get to play it. I haven't gotten to play it because it's on PlayStation 5. Really want a PlayStation 5, looking everywhere for one. But that Ratchet and Clank game looks so good, and I've watched the entire story. I shouldn't have, but I couldn't handle the hype around just the story and the game. It is a gorgeous game, and I'm still gonna play it regardless.
It took everything in me not to look at the story. I impulse bought that game, so whenever I do get my PS5, it's gonna be the first one I play.
It's a great looking game.
I feel like a terrible person with my PS5 I have right now. I don't even consider buying the game.
Oh no.
I think it's not really for everybody, but
you should probably try it.
Fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of games I have right now. If you guys watch me on my channel, and also the Team Hakai channel, obviously I'm playing Persona 5 on the Team channel every Tuesday and Thursdays, along with Final Fantasy 7 Remake, the integrated version, and haven't really touched much in that game. So I've got quite ways to go from there.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, are you gonna get the second part whenever it comes out?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I already have it. I just need to get to that part. Hopefully, I'll get done with that game on the Team channel. By the time the second part of the Final Fantasy game comes out, whatever that time may be, probably next year.
Yeah. Hopefully, that game does seem pretty fun. I've been watching you play it, and the game seems all right.
Oh my god!
Not my cup of tea, because I'm more of I mainly play like shooters or RPG/survival games. The game that I've been slowly but surely becoming more and more addicted to, other than Divinity: Original Sin 2, is a game that literally just came out, I think a day or two ago, called Tribes of Midgard, where it's up to 10 players can play, and it is has RPG elements. in terms of like you have different classes, you have different skill trees. They're not like super extensive, but there are certain builds that you can make for just pure damage, support, hunting, or not hunting, but gathering materials, things like that. And then it also has tower defense aspects. So you're thrown into the world as a Viking. You have nothing. You have to build up. You have to protect your city and the tree, or seat of Yggdrasil. It's a Norse mythology and whatnot. However,
isn't that the 100-year-old tree?
Yes, it is. It is. You have to protect that. You have to fight against different mobs and creatures. It's a really fun game. There's a lot, and they're doing a seasonal thing where you have the saga where at the end of this saga we have to fight Fenrir. You have to literally survive long enough, unlock all the stuff, and then fight him. And then it's one of those games where it's more its replayability is really high because you can go about a certain build or you can go about it. You get to the same end result, but there's so many different ways to go about getting to the end result, and I've always loved games like that. That's why I like Divinity, because Divinity is a lot where on my own solo playthrough there was a lot that I missed because I just didn't take the time to look in certain areas. But I'm playing with others, and they'll randomly find something because they're going to check an area that I'm not looking at, and then we open up an entire dungeon in a secret room that I've never even once thought of. So games like that are like definitely the games that are on my number, like on the top of my playlist. But if I were to go down the list of games that I want to play and or try out and are thinking about playing, I think we all can agree we will all be here forever. And we'll be here forever just listing the games we want to play, because that's just how that's the state of gaming. Because it's more, I definitely feel like it's more, we will be willing to buy or play more games. Granted, we have restrictions on our time to play those games. However, now it's more we are trying to find games that we can play when we have the time, but not waste our time. Waste our time and money on games that are unpolished, aren't really that good, but they seem good and hyped up. Like, I don't know if you guys have even noticed it, but there's this game called New World. Have you seen anything about that? I want to start that. Have you ever seen anything about New World?
Yeah, that's the one with like I believe that's the game with like the really good promos and the really good previews and stuff, but then the actual gameplay, I heard a lot of people are a little disappointed in.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because that game is being produced by a little known company called Amazon. And that is a $1 trillion company, right? That's what everyone likes to say, and I like to say it too, because normally it's a $1 billion company, right? Billion, your $1 billion company. No, with Amazon by themselves, that is a $1 trillion company. The gameplay for that game feels very stiff. The mobs are scripted as all hell. Like there's no reactivity. The mobs don't react differently based off the situation. You hit them one way, they will react the same way if you hit them another way. They do a standard attack pattern that is very telegraphed. So the game, a lot of people have been playing it because it feels like an MMO. Like it's kind of hard to detail exactly what that feeling is, but it feels like an MMO. However, it doesn't feel like the game was made by a company worth trillions of dollars, because it kind of feels like they lowballed it. And there are a lot of stability problems that are happening right now. But mind you, that game comes out this month of August. It comes out in August.
Actually, a day from now.
Yeah. So it doesn't look good, because like servers were crashing and there's like big queue times. And the beta, and mind you, not everybody that was attempting or wanting to play the game has the beta. Just most people, they did drops. They did the key drops for their game or their beta codes, and not that many people got into it and they were playing. It was a stability landmine. There's broken animations. It was just laggy. People will get kicked out of the server in the middle of like missions and whatnot. Some of the quests are overly long. Like some quests, you literally do, I want to say 6 to 7 steps just for you to get to an NPC, and your reward is another 3 lines of dialogue. So it's a mess. And again, that's a $1 trillion company, and most people were expecting more, but I really wasn't, because they also have another game that they had to actually stop develop. I'm pretty sure they stopped development for it, but they put it out on Steam, then refunded everybody, and then took it off of Steam because that's how bad it was. It's called Crucible. You guys can look that up. It's a game called Crucible, made by Amazon. It was horrendous that game came out.
Kind of reminds me of my time when I was playing Cyberpunk on the Team channel.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. Yeah. That's another one. Oh, we took Anthem too. Don't forget about that one.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. By the way, folks, I will bring Cyberpunk back into the Team channel. Just don't know when.
What about you, Wolf? You got any experiences with games that you thought were going to be really good or you were looking forward to, and they just kind of?
Oh, definitely. I think I don't know if I told any of you guys, but I'm a big fan of the Ruby series, RWBY. So whenever they came out with the game Grim Eclipse, I was like, okay, cool. This sounds like it's gonna be really good. That game honestly made me cry because it was the graphics was all over the place. The frame rates were trash. You could only upgrade a couple of things, and it took forever to get the points just to upgrade something. And the storyline was really, really bad. And and they made DLC for the game, but the DLC was not up to par either. So that game just was a whole dumpster fire in the nicest way to put it. And that and the dreaded Sonic 06.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, yeah. Cause I'm like, ooh, Silver the Hedgehog. Ooh, he uses telekinesis. He seems pretty cool. Play the game. Oh, it's no use. Take this.
It's no use whatsoever.
So yeah, those are the only two games I've come across personally that turned out worse than what I thought.
My biggest thing, especially with not even talking about the whole harassment stuff at Blizzard, because that is already horrible in that of itself. Like the whole atmosphere is just bad. Because you remember Blizzard, at least I remember growing up, Blizzard was considered one of those places that you wanted to go if you wanted to do anything with video gaming. You wanted to go to Blizzard to work there. That was like that was like the hot spot. Everybody wanted to go there. Now
either them or Insomnia.
Like Insomniac, yeah, Insomniac was like the games they're doing now with Insomniac are just like they're really good, and you want that for Blizzard. But now that we're like with all the information coming out, what's happening, I feel really bad for the people that have to work there or have worked there, or their lifestyles are to the point where they need that job still. Where they can't, because it's not just a vertical or a horizontal movement when you leave one company go to the next, because there's a lot of litigation in between that. Just thinking about it, you think these companies, whenever they come out with these games that are literal dumpster fires, you would think they would take an example, or they would see another company fall flat and do everything in their power to avoid that, because I feel like there's enough history of just games falling flat and or just being cash cows, and the community reception has just been that bad for those games. You would think that would really, they will put more effort into it. Not necessarily more effort, they would not put in systems that just fundamentally break the game. And there's been a lot of games like that recently where they focus more on their microtransactions. Like there's more polish and work done in the microtransactions than there is in the actual gameplay itself. And it's sad that that's becoming more commonplace, and it's also sad that it's becoming where people are just kind of like, well, what can we do? I mean, I see people say they're going to boycott or not play these certain games, and then I see other people like, well, it's not going to change anything. What's the point? And it's just both mentalities kind of wrap together, just cause chaos in it, and then nothing changes. Because
I believe Overwatch had a similar thing like that at one point, where there were a bunch of people can't get my words right. They didn't want to play Overwatch for a while too, because they kept nerfing someone, or someone in the company did something. It was one of those two.
I think that had to do with the protests in China, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I think it was the Blitz.
Yeah, one of the professional players got did dirty, so they decided not to play the game for a while.
Yeah.
Until that. Now that's one thing I will say about the gaming community. When a professional player gets done wrong, their support backs them up 100%. That is one thing I will say that I like.
they're very vocal, but that again, that's a double-edged sword,
Right.
because there's a lot of situations where people just, I will never understand the toxic mindset of just telling people to off themselves and things of that nature and calling them out their name. Like, you ever think about what goes through the heads of those people that do that? And then when that streamer and or professional player claps back, they have the audacity to be like, "Oh, why are you trying to get your fans to bully me?" I'm like, no, he's just clapping back at you as an individual, or she's just clapping back at you as an individual. It's not about their status. You're using their status as a shield. It's like, come on. But again, like you said, there are those that support them 100% and always there. They kind of lift them up because it when you have that many eyes on you, the pressure is immense. It's immense.
Yeah.
I've never really supported the whole bullying in the game, place. Bullying in online. Anyway, I guess it's because I guess it kind of touches back on what they taught us in school, like how people are feel safer behind the screen because they don't have to physically or interact with that person. So that means they feel like they can get away with a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of different things behind the screen, not knowing that that person might either be next door or in the next town over or the next state over. And
That's very true.
like they just feel safer, and I feel like we've relied so much on technology that it's like taking its toll in different ways and forms. And then when people hypothetically do like off themselves or whatever, they just feel no remorse for it. It's like, well, things happen, and it's just makes it worse.
It's sad to think about because it could be avoided, and it's mainly just people taking responsibility for their own actions and not like they always try to be like freedom of speech. It's like, yeah, there's freedom of speech, but there's also with regards to you don't cause damage or you don't put someone in danger because of your speech. That like there are also other things in place where there's a line you don't cross, and the internet makes it to where it feels like that line is basically blurred or invisible to most. They just do it regardless.
Oh yeah, there's always speculations about that, and especially nowadays, tolerance for limitations to where going too far actually is more ridiculous than it's ever had been before.
I feel like it's being covered more, or at least a lot more news outlets are covering it, especially regarding esports and gaming. A lot more people that have news channels on YouTube or just different talk shows. They're talking about just the toxicity that is in gaming, and especially around women. Like there's so much that it's literally you cannot turn a blind eye to it. You can't sit there and pretend, oh well, I've never seen it. No, there's no, just because you haven't seen it in person, just because it haven't like affect you in person, it's happening. Hey, let's have that. Let's at least acknowledge that.
Now, that theory as well is like people don't really take things seriously until it happens to them.
That's very true. That is so true. We see that every day on the news, and that in particular I won't talk about any further because I have a couple examples that is more political, and I refuse to talk about that.
Let's not get political here.
Let us pivot.
We try to steer away from politics and religion.
Let us
not my topic.
What do you guys think about Steam Deck, the handheld device for Steam?
This should be a wake up call to Nintendo. Especially what they try to introduce to Nintendo Switch OLED, which is incredibly pathetic. Everybody's expecting a more powerful version of the Switch. All the OLED has done is just twice the amount of data and a larger screen for a handheld phone. That's basically it.
I feel like all Nintendo had to do was fix the internet problem, and they would be set. But all of us know that's not going to happen.
Yes. It's a great example with Smash Bros. 2019, it was all Smash Bros. all year long. If all it turns to hype, and in 2020, I mean, of course you got the pandemic around, but the first thing they did is introduce the fifth and final character of the entire first volume pack was a character that nobody wanted in terms of bio. If you're a Fire Emblem Three Houses fan, I'm very sorry for your character, but he is easily by far the most hated character in terms of Smash DLC, and it it literally, as soon as he got launched, the hype of the game just tremendously went straight down, and nobody cares about the game ever more.
Dang, who was the last one? It was Minecraft Steve, right? No.
No, latest one is Kazuya.
No, I'm talking about the last one of the first season pack.
Oh, Byleth from Fire Emblem 3.
Yeah, a lot of people weren't really.
A lot of people were so mad.
I think it's mainly because, like, it's called Super Smash Brothers, so people are thinking, Mario, everybody, and people with first gen, people that are like main characters in their own game. For example, like you got Link, you got Kirby, Fox, people like that, and then you just see Fire Emblem. And it's like, okay, cool, Fire Emblem, and then you have everybody and their mama from Fire Emblem. And what put the icing on the cake is that they added the female choice options as well as the characters, and it's just like, oh, so
why does Nintendo hate Waluigi? Why does Nintendo hate Waluigi? Give me Waluigi in that game, and I will buy a Switch and Smash to play as Waluigi.
Hey, I think the only company that loves Waluigi is Camelot. And when they were working with Nintendo for their sports game.
Waluigi needs more love.
I actually made a bet with a friend about that.
We got one more. We got one more character left in the DLC.
It's not going to be Waluigi. It's not. They will not. They will never.
Waluigi's an assist trophy, so that chances of him becoming an actual character is kind of slim.
But in terms of the first Fighter Pass, it's a bunch of worlds coming together as one. And the first Fighter Pass, it had first Joker from Persona 5, which sets the tone that all 5 of these characters were supposed to be third party, never been in the series before, and then they lied and brought Byleth in the game, which a Fire Emblem of all franchises they wanted to represent. Then we'd be probably more forgiving if they brought a character represented from a game that's probably more first party, but more face of Nintendo, such as Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, or Kirby series. They'll probably be more forgiving. But the fact that it was a Fire Emblem character, and let's be honest here, literally half of the entire Fire Emblem characters in the game itself are have little to no difference between them, other than the 4 that are not, which are Ike, Orin, Byleth, and Robin.
And don't forget, like a couple games before with I believe it was Brawl or Melee, where Sakurai announced, "Hey, I'm not making any more clones. Not in retrospect, the Smash Brothers is like people with the same moveset, like just a different skin outlay. A perfect example of that would be in Melee when Ganondorf and Captain Falcon came out, when they literally had the same moveset, same attack moves, everything.
That was funny though. When in Melee they had the same exact moveset.
The only difference between the two was like they slowed down a couple of things. Like they made Ganondorf's punch stronger but slower to charge than Captain Falcon's. Like they made Captain Falcon's faster than Ganondorf, but Ganondorf was stronger than Captain Falcon.
Hey, so now you cannot complain about that. They're almost they're basically completely different now.
They're completely different now. Now, the cloning thing, I will say, kind of came back with the whole Marth, Roy, Chrom, Lucina thing going on there. There are slight differences, but not enough to say they're completely different characters.
I can just tell you, Marth and Lucina, they're identical. The only two differences is that Lucina just doesn't have a tipper mechanic, which is her sword is more bow balanced. And the only difference between Roy and them is the A button with just a jab. That's basically it.
Right. Right.
But hopefully this final character coming up by the end of this year will be an icing on the cake, a cherry on top to finish off the game and close the game out, and Sakurai's final farewell to the community, as this can be his last game, or at least for Smash Bros.
I will say the character out of all the ones that they've announced, the one that shocked me the most wasn't Kazuya. It was honestly Joker, because Atlas is kind of stingy with their stuff. So I was kind of surprised when they announced Joker. from
I
Persona
have never
5.
heard of Joker until he got announced. I was like, what the heck is this?
I didn't either. My brother played Persona, and I'm like, "Who's Joker?" I'm like, "Is that can't really be his name? Is it he? Is he like Because I thought he was like an undercover agent or something. I'm like, why is his name Joker? What is he do?
Yeah. The I guess my biggest uh amusement for this next DLC is probably Banjo and Kazooie.
Oh, everybody was ready for him.
Oh my god.
They've been asking. I know some people in the Smash community been praying for Banjo Kazooie for a long time. Cause when they
Okay.
said, when you think about Smash Brothers, ideally ultimate Smash Brothers ultimately is Sakurai said he wanted it to the last one to be a celebration of games. So
At
in
least for
my
him.
yeah, so to me it's like he's gonna bring in characters that people of the ones that people have always wanted for a long time but never got.
What about
Or
Waluigi?
well, I don't know. Waluigi is a whole different. I don't. Now
They
my
put a freaking
standpoint
piranha plant instead.
my standpoint on Waluigi is I have nothing against Waluigi at all. I honestly think he deserves a spot, but whenever I think of the logic of it, I'm just like, well, Mario has his own game, Peach had her own game, Bowser had his own
Did
game.
Jigglypuff have her own game?
No, but
Okay then.
but Pikachu's
What about
the
Piranha
main
Plant?
look.
That's
Now,
more. But
Piranha,
no.
now
You
Piranha
say
Plant came out of
Pikachu.
nowhere.
You saying Pikachu? Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, Pikachu, right? That's
Yeah,
Mario.
I was
That
like,
is.
Pikachu is the cornerstone of Pokemon.
But that's Mario, Luigi, and Wario. Why not just finish the four-man squad? Why can't they just bring in Waluigi? Just bring them in. That's all I want. That's all
He
I
got
need. I need it in my veins.
he got
My
juked out by the Piranha Plant.
Piranha Plant, I
Piranha
think,
Plant.
was a gimmick because, like, I think it was like Sakurai's way of saying, "I will put whoever I want in this game. Don't be telling me who to put in this game."
Yep.
Because that interview was pretty intense. He was like, "I will do it. Don't tempt me again. I will put whoever." The one that
But
the one that disappointed me the most was Minecraft Steve. I'm sorry, I know what it was for, but that one disappointed me the most.
that was just. I mean, it's just difficult to play as in my honest opinion.
Because don't you have to mine for the different weapons in the
Yeah, I
game?
mean it's kind of common, but I mean it's just kind of complicated how do you use them.
He looks like a setup character, honestly.
Yeah, he is.
Mm.
But the question is, before we end this off in terms of Smash Bros, who do you want this last character to be when they announce this? Probably in September.
You
My
already know who I want.
If I'm
mine.
being completely honest, the one I have two guesses. My first one is Crash Bandicoot.
Mm,
That is my first guess. Mainly because he wasn't in PlayStation All Stars when that game got announced. So and he already has a game on the Switch as well. So I think he would probably be a good fit. And my second guess is a character from a game that Nintendo and Square Enix at the time had made together a long time ago, back in in the 1990s, called Super Mario RPG: Legend of the Seven Stars.
Gino.
Where no, not Gino, because Gino has an outfit, so that's already
Oh
knocked out.
yeah,
I'm
I
talking
forgot
about.
about that.
I mean, Mallow.
Mallow.
Mallow is my guess.
Oh, okay.
That is my
Um,
second guess. I don't know. I would be hype if he was the character. I would low key cry because that game was amazing, and they made two original characters that nobody knew about, and
yep.
that was Mallow and Gino, and those were two original characters in Nintendo that they made from scratch that nobody probably knows about.
Well, for my speculation or for my wish, this is kind of unrealistic, but you never know. I want Sora from Kingdom Hearts 3, but as you know, Nintendo will obviously have to work a deal with Disney, and that would be a very, very difficult license to work out.
That license is gonna be a fight in itself.
Yep. So from a third party standpoint, Sora for Kingdom Hearts, but if he doesn't come in, I mean, obviously, there's a reason why they can't make him.
Give me a Luke Skywalker. Give me a Jedi.
Say what?
Just because.
From a first party character,
You know, be great Kratos. Oh my god.
Kratos.
Get him out of Fortnite. He does not need to be in Fortnite. I keep seeing different clips of Kratos riding on a really mini trike, doing these different dances. Kratos is a god killer. He is the manly man. He's the McGruff. He should be punching people in the face, not doing the freaking orange justice after a match.
Yep.
But it is so cool to see Kratos in Fortnite, because Fortnite is, for what it's worth, Fortnite was definitely a ignition for a new generation of gamers. Like, Fortnite was like a lot of kids, like a lot of the younger kids' first game to play, and to see them get to at least somewhat experience the characters that we know and love growing up is awesome. You know, because like Kratos is definitely a game like a lot of younger kids won't have access to, because it's in God of War and all the blood and the gore and whatnot. That's before before there was a lot more censorship when it came to that. But
oh yeah, I played God of War, the PlayStation exclusive one, back in, I think it's 2018 when it came out.
Played on the PSP.
And I can definitely tell that they've had a lot more permission with what they're able to do.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it was a rated R game or rated M game, so like it was understandable. But now, because gaming has, it is, at least from my personal point of view, gaming has melded into more of a, is a lot more of a gray area now in terms of what can be allowed, what can't be allowed, what's too controversial, and yada yada. There's a lot of he said, she said, a lot of mix of what should be like on Twitch, like the situation on Twitch, where, for one, I don't like that there's gambling on the site. Like, regardless of if there's kids watching or not, I just don't like that there's gambling on the site, because gambling is such a huge vice. I don't want anyone to be like, oh, that looks cool because that streamer let you guys in on something. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I think it was Trainwreck. Yeah, it was Trainwreck. He did an interview with H3H3, and they were talking about, he asked him, I don't know if you can tell me or not, but how much do you make out of your contract for streaming that gambling game on your channel? I kid you not. He said, I might get in trouble for this, but I make $1 million a month. But I'm down $2.8 million just from playing the game. Because he's like, he plays it, and I'm sitting here, when he said he's down $2.8 million, I call BS. Because there's no way you're going to be getting $1 million a month and be not making a profit, right? Like, you're not going to be going down you're not going to be down 2.8 million. You're not going to sign a contract and be doing this, or not really forced to stream it, but going out of your way to stream this gambling game and not make a profit. Like, I don't,
I know
that doesn't make sense to me. But gaming has definitely turned into more of a, it's like a coin flip, it feels like, because you know kids are going to play any game. My mother bought me GTA 5 like when I was like 12 or 13. So there's a possibility that kids will be playing these games that they probably shouldn't be playing, and it's kind of like, what should you allow to be said, put into the game? There's always that. But what if a kid sees this, even though they're not supposed to?
I know.
One more topic before we end. This is just something else that crossed my mind. What do you guys feel about the Horizon Forbidden West being reportedly delayed until 2022?
I mean, I've seen a lot of games that's been delayed, and there's games that's been released that should have been delayed. Cyberpunk 2077.
Very much.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Let me change the question. Just, what do you feel about people being upset that the game is delayed?
I mean,
I feel like they can. I feel like they'll probably make something to buy time, like something to distract them a little bit to keep their mind off of it for a little while, something to make up for the delay.
I mean, a lot of people were not happy when GTA 6 was reportedly not going to release until 2025.
Oh Jesus, that's a long time.
Yeah. Say it ain't so, huh?
Sorry, had to walk away. All right, but you said what? What did you say again with regards to people being upset?
I mean, people just expect things to come like now, um like it takes time for to make a good quality game and to perform properly the way people want it to be,
Yeah.
and um I feel like that with more people getting more advanced technology nowadays, they expect things to get done quicker and more efficient. Um, time production doesn't really take an effect, so it still takes quite a bit of time to make a game. Um, People expect things to come sooner. The fact that they have the technology and they think it works like that. That's just not how it works.
See, my biggest thing, I like to keep up with the newest technology that is in game development and just gaming. A lot of
Yeah.
the time, whenever these companies are introducing and or promoting these new engines, these new devices or softwares that you use that literally, if we take gaming from let's say early 2010 to now, a game that took 5 years in 2010, like from like 2005 to 2010 took 5 years, takes a year to get to that same point in time that in nowadays. So I
Yes.
understand people's mindset. However, they don't understand the underlying problems, especially when they're, let's say you're doing stuff on an older game on an old engine, and how you try to correlate that and update that consistently, right? You're trying to build for the future on a foundation that is kind of shaky, because the thing that you put on top of it is really, it's nice and heavy. It's more or less, people are just, okay, you keep talking about this new technology, like what's like the Unreal, the newest Unreal engine and developer tools that they showed off maybe 2-3 months ago. They were showing off, oh man, you can do this, you can do this. It cuts your work time in like half, or makes it a tenth of what it used to be. The promotion for it is too, it feels, in my point of view, feels too over exaggerated. But I understand some of the lingo that they're using, but to an untrained eye or to somebody that's just like your normal consumer, it looks like, oh, that means they can make games yada 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 way faster. They can have this done. What's stopping you from doing this? What's stopping you from doing this? And 9 times out of 10, because most companies aren't as transparent, because they have their trade secrets and they have stuff they want to keep under wraps. So like their formula in which how they make their games, because most companies aren't as transparent as others, it seems like they're just hiding stuff from us, or they're just trying to get the money, and they don't really want to put in the work and the time and the effort, even though you have developers that are probably working year round, doing so much work, putting so much time and effort into it, but for the product to not be to what everybody's inflated expectations are. Because that's what happened to, like, what's the game, I'm trying to think of a game that happened to, but most like Anthem. Everybody's expectations were so high for that game. Mine were so high for that game. We, as a community, we knew the game wasn't going to reach those expectations, but we thought that it could at least reach an expectation, or like a marginal, good feeling. That game fell flat. The stories come out from the different developers. It was really rushed. There was no sense of direction. Even though they had this new technology, even though they had these new software, they weren't as familiar with them. It takes time to get familiar with those softwares, because you can't just get a new software and boom, you're using it like it's the back of your hand. You have to learn. They're literally going to school all the time, just relearning different software programs, all that. And it's more, people just see the finished product, and they don't think about the process. And like you said, it was just, they just don't. They don't think about it. But it's mainly
Demand is just demand is just so high nowadays that people would expect things to come even before a product is completely done.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
now, a lot of people just want the game as soon as possible. So the developers just make the game to a certain point that's actually playable, and then once they release the games, they'll just whatever this these patching, they'll just wait for the feedback, just for to send out these updates and patch notes just to fix these problems rather than taking the time to like evaluate everything.
Yeah, like sometimes it's best to just wait for the. I know it sucks to wait, but sometimes it's just better to just wait for the final product to come out because otherwise, if you get a rush product, you'll end up with games like Sonic 06 or like with Cyberpunk when it had a whole bunch of bugs and stuff in it, or Lord forbid when Smash Brothers Brawl came out and there was an eternal bug in the game with the whole tripping feature. Like that was a bug that they could not fix.
Yeah. Like hell, there's another game that I wasn't really looking forward to, but I did see a good bit of hype around Godfall, like the slasher shooter. That I don't hear anything about that game anymore. I don't even know if people play it. I would have to check their numbers on Steam or whatnot, but just there's a lot of games that come out with some, even games like Godfall that come out with a somewhat newer a newer idea. It seems that most companies are more afraid to do this new ideas because the new ideas are met with expectations and a good bit of impatience from the consumer. I'm all for polishing the game. I'm all for it. Just polish your game, make sure it comes out properly. I'm really getting sick of like really fat and big day one patches. Just I want it to come out the box being a complete game. I don't want to have to buy a game and then buy DLC for a more complete version of that game. I don't like that. But that, ladies and gentlemen, was the last topic for today, at least for this episode. I want to thank you guys for joining us for Hakai Talk. From now on, or from here on out, we're going to be making sure this video goes up on our YouTube channel every Thursday. So guys, make sure you guys tune in. I also have the links down below with regards to Team Hakai and Calvinator's channel. WolfCry, do you also have a channel you want to link down below as well?
I'm still working on my personal channel. I'm trying to get stuff set up correctly. I might need to get some extra help on it because I'm not too tech savvy, but whenever it is up and running, I'll be more than happy to share. But in the meantime, I will be streaming for the team. I stream on Mondays at 8 p.m. and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. from 7 to 9, and Mondays from 8 to 10.
That goes for me. I will planning on streaming more on my channel in the near future. Right now, I'm just dedicated to Team Hakai. Which is right now is every Tuesday to Thursday, which is Persona 5, and from started at 8 p.m. To whatever time it may end to I feel like it, which is a while. I promise you that. And then for Fridays, it's also 8 p.m. That will be taking place for Final Fantasy VII. I know I haven't been consistent with Final Fantasy VII. I wasn't able to stream the other night because I had some file issues and lost some save data, so I had to play all the way up to I left off. But once I get done with Persona 5, I will accelerate the process, and I promise you guys that.
Thank you. Make sure you guys live by the code, and until next time, peace!